I'm 21 and I'm from Ottawa, Ontario, Canada. I was born in 1992 and I have a 23-year-old brother. I was born 2 months premature and I was delivered early because the doctor could tell while I was still in my mother that I was in heart failure. When I was born, I weighed about 4 pounds, but I lost a lot of fluid, and the doctor said my original birth weight would have been about 2 pounds. I still ask my mom a lot of questions about the things that they went through when I was a baby, because obviously I don't remember much. And here's what I know. I was in heart failure, and the doctors had to revive me. I had 2 needles inserted in my chest and let the fluid out so that my lungs could inflate. I was in the ICU for about 3 months. I was on a respirator for many weeks and in an incubator. My mom and dad were not able to hold me for 6 weeks until I was 6 weeks old. I had open heart surgery, my first open heart surgery at 18 months old, to remove muscle from the right side of my heart. After the surgery, I had a stroke that affected my left side. There were many complications, but as you can see, I made it through. I had workers come to my house, and my mom had found a wonderful caregiver who had helped me become more independent and encouraging me to use my left hand even when it was difficult. I had lots of tests done. I had a biopsy on my leg to see if I had a muscle disorder because the doctor said I was floppy. The cardiologist suspected Noonan Syndrome early on, and the geneticist confirmed this diagnosis when I was 18 months old. I never really thought of myself as being different for having Noonan Syndrome. It was very much just a part of my life. The biannual trips to the cardiologist, having to get a heart monitor for a full day at least once a year, it was all just regular part of my life. I've been on all kinds of medications, and when I was about 9 years old, I was really eager to start learning how to take pills because the liquid medication was I always knew I had a heart problem, and I had an open heart surgery as a baby. I was never really shy to tell people about it. If I was asked, I would tell them what they wanted to know. One time a kid asked, when I was very young, a kid asked me what the scar was on my chest. I told him it was magic marker. You stopped asking questions. My kindergarten teacher said I needed pink polka dotted rollerblades to keep up with the class when we walked down the hall together. For many years in school, the custodian would come and help me pick out a desk that was small enough for me on the first day of school. One time he even lowered my hook so I could hang up my backpack by myself. I often get asked by many people if I'm a dwarf or a midget, and I've decided next time someone asks, I'm just going to tell them I'm a leprechaun. The coordination in my left hand is not very good. Sometimes I forget to use my left hand altogether. When I was younger, I had very close friends, and when I struggled with a button or a zipper, they were always there to help me. My friends continue to help me in times of need, and an occupational therapist would visit me at school and make suggestions for how I could become stronger and more independent. I had to write on a slanty board at school, and I often wondered why this helped. The physiotherapist made me practice walking up and down the stairs, one step at a time. I always wondered why I couldn't just do it my way. I never liked to do anything with running. I could never keep up with my friends. I would make stories about having a sore ankle, so I didn't have to run. Generally, I don't like team sports. I couldn't keep up, and I would feel like I was letting my team down. I learned to like downhill skiing with my family, though in the beginning it was not fun because I was always cold. I took rhythmic gymnastics, taekwondo, and swimming lessons, and Girl Guides. I loved to go to the cottage with my family, and I always loved swimming in the lake. I would scream when it was time to get out. One time my uncle who was next door, thought I was in trouble and when I was having a screaming fit. He came to see what was wrong, only to find I just didn't want to get out of the lake. I always knew I had Noonan, but I never really felt it. I never really felt different, except for minor physical limitations. In school, I chose to study the heart in 5th grade, and later in grade 8, I did a project on my particular heart problem, hypertrophic cardiomyopathy. I knew I had a learning disability, but it became clear to me in 9th grade when I got retested. The most memorable experience I had with my medical issues were in grade 11, when I had my second heart surgery. My heart medication didn't seem to be working, and I was having spells of shortness of breath and dizziness and chest pains. It was time to remove excess muscle from the left side of my heart. This time we had to travel to Toronto for the surgery, which is about a 5-hour drive. I was so nervous about the surgery, but I was really nervous about finishing school that year. The surgery was just before the end of that school year. Luckily, my teachers were understanding and exempt me from my exam. That relieved some of the stress. However, some of my friends were not quite so understanding, and would complain and say I was so lucky I didn't have to do the exam. Believe me, I would not have chosen to get out of exams this way. I finished my year, but I had a TIA walking back to school from my co-op placement. I didn't remember much, but my friend tells me I came to her in a panic, wondering if I was there at school that morning. My friend called her mom to come to school. She didn't know what else to do. They eventually got a hold of my mom at work. As I was waiting for my mom to come to take me to the emergency room, my counselor decided to ask me to change my courses. For the rest of the summer, I continually asked my mom what courses I was taking the next year, because I had no memory of the beginning. I was granted a wish by Make-A-Wish Foundation the next fall, and and I chose to go to Japan to see my favorite Japanese rock group, the Gazette. It was an experience of a lifetime. I feel very fortunate to have had the opportunity to share with my family and my best friends. The next year, I had a pacemaker and defibrillator implanted. I have felt it pace me, but I have never been shocked. The doctor says it feels like being kicked in the chest. I'm hoping not to experience that anytime soon. I went to college to study early childhood education, and I had a rough first year. I wanted to be independent, and I was living in residence, away from home, for the first time, and I felt I didn't need help. I did have a counselor, but I wouldn't use the services that the school offered. Even though I was on my individual education plan. My grades showed me that I should not be afraid to ask for help. My second year of college, I lived at home. I finally used many accommodations for my learning disability, such as a smart pen. I had a note taker in all my classes. I had a learning strategist, and my parents decided to hold weekly meetings to stay organized. I also had to book a room a week in advance to do all my tests. I like to joke that I chose the field of early childhood education because I could finally be the tallest in the room. I graduated recently from college, and I'm working part-time. I dream of having a full-time job and one day getting enough money to travel back to Japan as well as other countries. I am in good health and have yearly checkups in an adult hospital now. Although I'm in the children's hospital, the transition has been smooth. I am told I may need a heart transplant one day, but I choose not to worry about that right now because I am here today in good health and I have many things to look forward to.